He is looking for a second date update today with a lady named Gina. Hey, Corey, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Doing good. This Gina situation aside, he's doing okay.
Yeah, I mean, things are kind of weird, but I thought, maybe I'd look into this and see if I couldn't get some answers.
Well, that's what we're here for. That's what Second Date Update is all about. Why don't you start from the beginning, kind of tell us how you met Gina and how that first date went?
Well, I met her online, of course. It's not like there's a ton of action anywhere else these days, so I'm definitely getting into the swiping apps, the Tinder and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, we talked for a couple of weeks before we decided to take the risk and meet up for ice cream.
That's fun.
We went to Graders, stayed outside, made sure that we were staying proper distance from people and that we had plenty of space from everybody else. So I know that wasn't the issue.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I love how everybody is following the rules and trying to
doing
be
their
responsible.
best.
I don't want to get people sick. I don't want to get sick, so definitely following those instructions. But we were there for an hour, or maybe a little bit longer, which is a long time when you're all you're doing is eating a cone, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that we got along pretty great.
And what would you say were some of the signs that led you to believe that you were getting along great?
Well, my number one sign was that she was smiling a lot. So I really took that as a good sign. She was really sweet. She's very nice. So, I just don't get it.
It felt good.
I mean, we met for ice cream. We talked. Everything's good.
And how'd the date end?
Well, here's the thing. We spent all this crazy time together. We didn't hook up. It's not like we spent the entire evening together, but
Right.
I don't know. There weren't really any opportunities to screw it up, and so that's why I'm confused.
Well, we are hearing that from a lot of folks who are going out, they're having a great date, and they're choosing not to hook up.
And were there any topics that you guys talked about where there was, maybe a weird silent or don't really know where this is going to go before
Politics
you
and overshare? Yeah.
No, not at all. The conversation that we were having, it flowed, so it was really, really nice. There were no weird pauses or anything, but we talked about everything. And I mean, there's so much to talk about these days.
Yeah.
So, we talked about pretty much everything.
Yeah.
So how are things left between you two?
Well, she hugged me goodbye, and I thought that was a good sign too. So, yeah, a parting hug. It wasn't like there was a peck on the cheek or anything like that, but there was a hug. I thought it was positive.
Right.
Okay.
Let's take a break here. We'll call Gina when we come back and see what she thought of Corey and her date with him coming up next with Jeff and Jenn, Cincinnati's Q102. So Corey met Gina online. They had a fun ice cream date. Seemed to gel pretty well. Lots in common. Laughed a lot. Smiles. A hug at the end. No, they did not hook up. A lot of folks have not been hooking up.
That we've talked to anyway. They might be out there.
They're
just not ready to
have that conversation.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
I think anybody that is hooking up right now, I would say the majority of them are probably hesitant to tell other people that because all of the judgment and the shame that will certainly be bestowed upon them in that moment.
That's true.
Is that why you're not telling us about your
That's why I'm not telling you a thing about how I've been whoring around all over the place.
You're not alone.
I do know one person that randomly made out drunkenly at a bar and then really beat themselves up for it. And I'm like, you can't,
Well, is it you got to be really specific. At least know the person's name, phone number, because if you get sick, you want to let them know or,
Yeah.
Don't make out with a total stranger that you may never see again because then all that tracing, what is it called?
For contact tracing purposes.
Yes, contact tracing purposes.
I'm going to need your contact information.
And your QR code.
Yeah. Well, Corey, let's call Gina and see what's up with her.
Hello?
Hi, Gina.
Hi.
It's Jeff and Jenn at Q102. How are you?
Jeff and Jenn.
It's us. And Tim and Fritch.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hey.
Hi. Oh, my, everyone's there.
We're all here. You got a few minutes?
No, really? Is this what I think it is?
Come on. We promise we'll make it fun.
Well, I know you will.
I don't know if it'll be as much fun as your date with Corey.
Well, okay, so that was weird.
That was weird?
It was weird.
Weird how?
Well, I'm sure he had fun, but he had some different ideas.
Like what kind of different ideas?
So we were talking about everything that's going on in the world and how crazy everything is, because we were there and we had to social distance and stuff, and then it just kind of led into the conversation of Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
And he was like, oh, I'm going to start my own movement. It's called Purple Lives Matter. And Purple Lives Matter is going to be all about eggplant. But not about eggplants, if you get it.
Yes.
Okay. So
does someone need to explain it for the people listening who might not get it?
Big worm.
Corey was horny.
So he kept going on and on about it. And then he pulled up on his phone what his logo would be like, and he had a slogan. It was something like, it's just the tip, or make the tip your priority. I don't remember.
So he wasn't just kidding around. This is actually something he's
put some time and effort into.
Thinking about it.
I mean, he drew a whole thing. Like, it wasn't like, oh my God, it'd be funny. It was, hey, here's a project I'm working on. And he took out his phone. Like, he whipped out his phone, no pun intended.
Yeah.
And it was just
playing off the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah, it was. Wow. Yeah, it felt disrespectful for Black Lives Matter.
Yeah,
and it was one of those things. Like, he's a nice guy, but I just couldn't believe that he spent all this time thinking about this joke.
Yeah,
that's different for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. You seem familiar with our show, so you know that Corey is on the line and he's hearing all this, and we'd like to give him a chance to respond. Corey, go ahead.
I was just kidding about all of that.
Well, that's what I thought too, but it sounded like you had a logo and everything ready to go.
I mean, do you just have an overabundance of free time with everything that's going?
I mean, have you looked at the internet?
I know, right? It's like, I think a lot of people are just looking for things to do.
Yeah, I mean, you were serious.
I mean, I had the idea. I thought it was funny. I wouldn't actually do anything with it. And I thought that you knew that I was just kidding.
I don't think you were just kidding. I think you thought of something that you thought was funny, and then you thought other people would think it was funny. I think that's what was going on.
Oh. And now that people don't think it's funny, you think he's saying it's just a joke?
Yeah, it's not a good joke. It's not it's in poor taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, when I presented all of this stuff, you laughed. You thought it was hysterical. I mean, if anything, you just give me some credit for creativity. I'm not trying to do anything terrible.
Okay. I'll give you credit for being creative. I mean, you seem nice, but I don't think we're a good match. Sorry.
Yeah, I think this is one of those things where you just know.
Yeah. The same sense of humor, I think, is very important in a relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's no fun to crack jokes that never land with the other person. And it's very annoying to, hear jokes from someone else. Right. It's like, that's not funny.
That was not a good joke.
I don't get it. Laughter is number one. I did a list one time where we had to come up with our values. What do you value in life? And top on my list was laughter. That was the first thing that came to my mind. It's like, I have to laugh
pretty necessary
every day as much as possible.
Yeah.
Well, Gina, we appreciate you taking the call.
Hey, it was great talking to you guys.
Yeah, it was good to hear from you. Appreciate your honesty.
Yeah. And Corey, we appreciate you coming on Second Date Update and putting yourself out there.
Hey, guys, thanks.
Sorry it didn't work
out. I really appreciate it.
You betcha.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Thanks for listening to the Q102 Jeff and Jen Morning Show podcast, brought to you by CVG Airport. Fly healthy through CVG. For more information, go to CVG Airport /fly healthy.